Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to what's making news, let's take a quick look outside our weather window from this afternoon. And after those low clouds kind of dispersed mid-afternoon, we saw some peaks of the sun and some warmer temperatures out there. Beautiful shot as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera. And those clouds did kind of dissipate this afternoon, as I mentioned. That allowed a warm up, and we expect the trend to continue. We didn't quite make 43 today, but look at that forecast. Friday all the way through next Wednesday, we are either going to see partly cloudy or mostly sunny skies with high temperatures above normal in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. And we'll talk much more weather coming up a little later on in the newscast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Chelan-Douglas Health District in the past few weeks has set up a COVID-19 drive-thru testing site at the town Toyota Center. 10 Washington National Guard members are expected to arrive in Wenatchee next week to help with COVID-19 efforts. And because of a surge in COVID-19 cases among its employees, the city of East Wenatchee has closed its offices through at least the end of this week. But first, our top story tonight. An East Wenatchee pharmacist was fired this week for allegedly issuing fake COVID-19 vaccination cards. The 50-year-old employee at the East Wenatchee Walgreens allegedly provided proof of vaccination to some clients without actually administering the vaccine. Walgreens' corporate office confirmed this week they fired the man after learning of the allegations from the Chelan-Douglas Health District last October. The district says it also informed the State Department of Health, the Attorney General, and local law enforcement. The pharmacist has been practicing since 1994. As of today, state records do not show any formal actions against his license, and he's not been charged with a crime. The Chelan-Douglas Health District in the past few weeks has set up a COVID-19 drive-thru testing site at the town Toyota Center, a triage facility at Saddle Rock Church, and an emergency operations center at Wenatchee Valley College. Health District Director Luke Davies told Wake Up Wenatchee Valley's Dan Kuntz the rapid spread of the Omicron variant in the community has necessitated all of those moves.
Part of what's happening with the Omicron variant is that it's coming in a very short time period. It is wildly infectious. And we know that probably by the end of January, everyone will have had an exposure event. Whether they get infected or not will depend on their vaccination status, whether they wear a mask and that kind of stuff. But we expect by the end of January, everyone to be infected. And so as we...
or at least exposed.
Exposed.
Right, yeah.
And as we move forward on this, we're anticipating that it's already causing issues across the country in terms of supply chain, critical infrastructure, and some of those different things. And so we're wanting to make sure that our critical infrastructure here, that we have a heads up if there's going to be a problem. And the Omicron Emergency Operations Center at the Wenatchee Valley College is separate from our Emergency Operations Center that Chelan County EM has. So they'll be handling everything, around if we have like the snowstorm, they handle the snowstorm, all that kind of stuff. Our Emergency Operations Center for Omicron is specifically to this variant for kind of a 4-week period. And the main goal of that is to make sure that we can keep critical infrastructure operational during this time. So to keep the lights on, keep the water running, make sure that people can go to the hospital if they need to get treatment, transportation, snow plowing, all of those different components that we're used to helping run our everyday life. That is the biggest risk right now with this Omicron variant coming in, is that if everybody gets sick all at the same time, then it puts our systems at risk. So our goal for that is to make sure that we're communicating with one another and getting a heads up if there's going to be a school closure that happens, or if, like, for instance, a grocery store has to close, et cetera, that we're making sure we're communicating out to the public and that people can get what they need in order to be safe during this period.
10 Washington National Guard members are expected to arrive in Wenatchee next week to help with COVID-19 efforts. Confluence Health Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jason Lake says they'll be used for non-medical staffing at both the Emerson Street COVID testing site and the triage center for COVID patients established at Saddle Rock Church. Right now, the plan is to have the National Guard help with intakes and traffic control as patients arrive at both those sites. Governor Jay Inslee last week ordered about 100 National Guard members into non-medical support roles at 4 Washington health centers, including Confluence. Central Washington Hospital has seen a surge in patients with the Omicron variant, and demand for COVID-19 testing in the Wenatchee Valley has exploded in the last 2 weeks. Well, because of a surge in COVID-19 cases among its employees, the city of East Wenatchee has closed its offices through at least the end of this week. The closure went into effect at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The city said city services will continue, but in-person services will be temporarily unavailable. The city said the COVID-19 case count will be reevaluated Monday to determine whether to reopen. The police department and municipal court windows will remain open, as will the East Wenatchee Library. And I do want to add that this afternoon, the Chelan-Douglas Health District also announced that they will close their offices through this week. Well, coming up next, Brock Haynes, the Regional Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife Director who admitted shooting a deer out of season last month, owned up to the incident in a virtual public meeting yesterday. Wenatchee Valley College's longest-serving president is leaving the post this summer, and the former head of the Chelan County PUD testified before Congress today regarding cryptocurrency. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if you only had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties. Mary Maids, let us help.
What is home? A place to gather, a place to grow, provide shelter for the ones we love, eat, drink, restore, build trust. It's a place to rest when the workday is done, a place to find quiet after a night of good fun. What an honor we have at Guild to help own, finance, create, pave the way to live in home.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
Welcome back. In another news, Brock Haynes, the Regional Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife Director who admitted shooting a deer out of season last month, owned up to the incident in a virtual public meeting yesterday. The online open house was focused on issues in the North Central region of Fish and Wildlife, where Haynes has been director since July. He faces poaching charges in Ferry County for shooting a whitetail buck with a rifle when he was in an area only open for bow hunting.
As many of you know, I made headlines last week for committing and self-reporting a hunting violation. Although some of the details associated with that incident have already been reported in the media, I simply can't speak to any of the specifics tonight because of the ongoing judicial process. It's a regrettable and embarrassing mistake. I wish I could take it back, but I can't. So I simply have to own up to that mistake and accept the consequences that come with it. What I can say tonight is there's no way for me to spin this or make an excuse. I'm in this situation because I didn't take the 30 seconds that would have taken me to double check in the hunting pamphlet what I thought to be true in my head. As such, I do hope that this can serve as a learning experience for other hunters, and that no matter how long you've been going on a hunt or how confident you are in knowing the regulations, always double check them before you go out, because there's always a chance that you've misremembered or there's been a small change that's been made. And in doing so, your interpretation or what you think to be correct could actually be wrong.
Brock's been very clear. He's owned this from the beginning. We all make mistakes. He did exactly what we encourage people to do when they feel like they may have made a violation or committed a violation. That's contact us directly in that self-reporting. We'll get enforcement involved. Beyond that, there is an ongoing legal proceeding, court proceeding with this, and so we don't want to say too much anything to interfere with that. And it's very important that complete before we really decide what we're going to do.
Wenatchee Valley College's longest-serving president is leaving the post this summer. Jim Richardson has led the college since 2005. During his time at WVC, Richardson oversaw the development of new academic programs, grant programs, and the construction of multiple new buildings. The college began offering its first four-year degrees in 2017 after decades awarding only two-year associate degrees. Richardson's effective retirement date is June 30th. The Wenatchee Valley College Board of Trustees will meet in a special session next Tuesday to consider steps to fill his office. Well, the former chief of the Chelan County PUD told Congress today the early years of cryptocurrency look like a gold rush in the Wenatchee Valley. Mining of Bitcoin and other blockchain currencies requires tremendous amounts of electricity. Steve Wright, who retired from the PUD last month, described for a House Energy Subcommittee the impact of Bitcoin miners moving into Chelan County, where the utilities struggled over how to accommodate them.
I want to emphasize that we experienced a lot of what I would call an immature industry. I mean, we started with this in 2014-15 when the industry was still learning how to operate. The key thing is we had a lot of folks come to town, highly capitalized and not very well capitalized, and none of them really hung around. And that created a fair amount of frustration for this community. But there was also promise that was there that people saw. The potential for blockchain technology. We have tree fruit here. People understand food safety. They're trying to figure out how to track fruit from tree to shelf. Blockchain seems to have great potential for that. So there was a lot of opportunity there that people saw. Bitcoin, however, I think there was a lot of concern, candidly, about the potential for this decentralized and unregulated currency and what could be done, and a lot of reports in the press about nefarious activities associated with cryptocurrency. So when folks said to us, well, we'd like for you to be the cryptocurrency capital of the world, I would say there was a skeptical reaction to whether that's what we wanted to be or not.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's featured story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Are you a take charge kind of person? Consider a career as a health unit coordinator. You'll work to keep health facilities running efficiently by coordinating medical providers, patients, and departments. The Charter College Certificate in Health Unit Coordinator program can get you up to speed on basic patient care, health records management, health and safety procedures, and medical billing. And the 10-month online program includes a computer you keep. Get started at chartercollege.edu, where we work to get you to work.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
At Wenatchee Power Sports, we proudly offer the Polaris product line. Polaris builds the highest quality side-by-side in the industry, with off-road capability that's second to none. The Polaris pre-order program allows customers to purchase the vehicle they want without having to select from limited dealer inventory. The Wenatchee Valley has year-round access to some of the best ORV trails in the Northwest. Start your adventure here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Each week, NCWLIFE's Rachel Mandelis introduces us to a new pet available for adoption at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. In tonight's feature story, this week we meet a dog named Karma.
This week on Pause for Pets, Jenny Ulrich from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society introduces us to a playful 9-year-old dog named Karma.
Hello. So this is our 9-year-old girl Karma here, who is an absolute love bug. She's a total delight. She loves her people here, loves volunteers, loves the staff. She loves to go for walks. She has a spunky side that loves to play as well too. She's fairly treat motivated. Most of all, she just loves her people. She is a dog that needs no other animal home, so she is seriously just looking for her people and to be someone's very best friend. I think that's it, isn't it? But she's an absolute delight.
If you are interested in meeting and adopting Karma, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and closed 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. for quiet hour. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Time now to take a look at that north central Washington weather forecast. Hope your Thursday was a good one out there. Here's a look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights, and we did see some sunshine today. That low cloud deck finally broke up. We had a little bit of breezy conditions in some locations, and that did allow those clouds to break up. Also, the storm that moved through this morning kind of drug some of that cloudiness with us. High temperature today above normal, and we're not at 30 or 31 degrees like we've been for about 4 days. 36 unofficially this afternoon. Still not a lot above our normal high of 34 degrees, but I think we'll take it with a little bit of sun. 52 our record high. That was set back in 1967. This morning we dropped down to 28. That's above where we should be at 24 degrees. Our record low was 2 below, and that was set in 1962. Our sun came up at 7:40 and did set this afternoon at 4:45. Let's take a look now at what we can expect as we get you into our finally Friday, and temperatures are going to remain on the mild side. We thought we'd get a little warmer today, so this will actually be a warm-up for most of our temperatures today. Although Moses Lake and Ephrata did get into the 40s today, but upper 30s tomorrow, 40 for Quincy, 42 here in Wenatchee, 41 in Cashmere, and 40 the high temperature tomorrow in Chelan. So get ready for a big meltdown from that big snow we had earlier this month. Tonight, high pressure right here will be our weather driver as we make our way into the weekend. Still an area of low pressure, tailing some shower activity as it drags through the upper Midwest, but really no chance for us to see that. And we are going to be dry and mild as we get into Friday. A very quiet weather pattern is setting in. The temperatures tomorrow mainly into the lower 40s, and boy, nice all up and down the West Coast as we get into the weekend. And as we hit Saturday, how about that? Mostly sunny skies. It will be mild once again. Just a little pocket of cooler air, but we should see highs in the upper 30s for Saturday. Getting you into the end of the weekend, I think a few more clouds as this system continues to drag slowly some clouds through our area, but it's going to be nice and mild with high temperatures Sunday near 40 degrees. For Monday, mostly sunny. Great start to our next work week. We'll see mild temperatures with highs again in the upper 30s as high pressure continues to dominate our weather. And for Tuesday, not much change. In fact, the next 7 days are going to be very quiet. Mostly sunny Tuesday. High temperatures again in the upper 30s and just a few cooler temperatures in the northeast mountains of Washington. Once again, Wednesday, the ridge up and over us, although an area of low pressure will begin to push in late next week, but not on Wednesday. We're going to see mostly sunny skies with high temperatures again near 40 degrees. Overnight low tonight, 31, a mild one, 42 tomorrow, 38 on Saturday, 40 on Sunday. We are looking at partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies right through the forecast, and by the time we get into the end of the forecast on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 39. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. The Wenatchee Wild are set to return to the ice tonight at the Town Toyota Center for the first time in 20 days. After 5 games were wiped out by COVID to start the year, Wenatchee welcomes the Cranbrook Bucks to town for the first of 2 games tonight. Cranbrook currently sits in 5th place in the BCHL's Interior Division at 17-11-2-0. Wild are a couple spots back in 7th place at 9-11-4-1. Now, because of the unbalanced schedule to start the season, the BCHL is using winning percentage and not points to determine the playoff spots. While Wenatchee has been idled by COVID, the Bucks, meanwhile, 3-2 so far in January. Interim voice of the Wild, Sean Zier, says it will be fun to watch Wenatchee face the expansion team for the first time.
They do have some scoring power. Let's put it to you that way. They are very, very, very physical. They do like to play a rough sort of hockey, so, and they're led by, his name is Tyson Dick. He's got 18 goals, 23 assists, and they also can score on the power play as well. So it's going to be one of these things. They've been one of the better teams here lately. They've been on a good long streak. This is the first time that Wenatchee is going to be facing them this year. Hopefully, we keep saying that hopefully, but but yeah, I think it's going to be good for Wenatchee to get another look at another team that they've not faced. I mean, you can only play the Prince Georges and the Trails and everybody so much. We're getting in the middle of January, and this is the first time that they've actually faced a team in their own division for the first time. So. It's pleasant. Let's put it to you that way.
Wenatchee and Cranbrook drop the puck at 6 o'clock tonight at the Town Toyota Center. The 2 teams play again tomorrow night at 7:05. Tickets available at WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Well, staying on the ice, the Seattle Kraken will try to make it 2 wins in a row tonight at Climate Pledge Arena. San Jose Sharks in Seattle to take on the Kraken. Following Monday's shootout victory, Seattle still last in the Pacific Division of the NHL at 11-23-4. The Sharks come in at 21-17-2. That's good enough for 4th in the Pacific. Seattle added some help to the lineup by claiming Boston forward Carson Kuhlman off waivers. Coach Dave Haxtell says they made the move when Morgan Geekie had to go on injured reserve.
Really, didn't try to overanalyze anything today. He's had a lot going on over the last couple of days. I'm sure a lot of emotions a couple of days ago, and then getting situated travel-wise across the country and everything. That all being said, he dove into practice today, and had a real good day. And exactly, exactly what we know about him. I mean, he brings great energy, skates really well. He does everything, at a real high speed and a high level, and that's what he did today in a short practice. So, it was a short introduction for him, but it was good to get him in with our group.
Coleman says he's thankful to be in Seattle and all those who have supported him along the way.
Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me. This seems like an awesome city. Been here, 24 hours, but everybody's so friendly and obviously first-class organization in year one here. Some figures, I guess, I would have to go with my parents right off the bat. They kind of showed me how to do the right things, and then coaches along the way. I've been pretty blessed and fortunate to have good coaches throughout my career. The first time going through it as a hockey player, as a pro. So yeah, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but gotten through it, and we're here. And now is the easy part. You just get to play hockey and enjoy the city.
Puck will drop at 7 o'clock tonight. You can watch the action on Root Sports Northwest. Well, we are having Big Nine Wrestling tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. It's going to happen. We were worried about COVID testing and things like that. Eastmont hosting Wenatchee at Eastmont High School. COVID has certainly raised heck with Eastmont's schedule so far this season, as the Wildcats have wrestled only one of its scheduled 4 matches so far this season, knocking off Davis 36-33. Meanwhile, Wenatchee is 1-2 after losing its first 2 matches to Ike and Moses Lake. Panthers beat West Valley 9 days ago, 48-30. I'll be Matt side for your action with a pregame at 6:45 here on the NCWLIFE channel. We'll also be streaming that on our Facebook page. Other wrestling on the schedule tonight. Ellensburg's hosting Quincy, Othello, and Wapato in a double duel at 5:30. Cascade, Chelan, and Omak gather in Cashmere at 6. Grandview travels to Ephrata at 7. Boys swimming and diving season quickly winding down. A couple of meets earlier today. Eastmont was on the road at the Tony St. Ange Pool in Moses Lake. Wenatchee was down at Lions Pool in Yakima facing West Valley. Well, Wenatchee traveled to Yakima yesterday to face Eisenhower, and the Cadets came away with a sweep in girls bowling. The high rollers for the Panthers, Eleni Russell with a 197, Caitlin Cunningham with a 193. Today, Eastmont's on the road at Minda Lanes to take on Sela. That got underway at 3:30. We have one high school score to pass along on the Les Schwab scoreboard from last night. Chelan took care of business, traveled to Cascade, beat the Kodiaks at Caribou trailing play. 88-56 was the final there. Coming up tonight, Wenatchee was supposed to make up a game against Eisenhower tonight for the girls, but COVID has entered the Panther program for the girls' side, and they have put a halt to all things basketball for the time being. That'll cancel tonight, and as well as weekend plans. So they won't be able to even retest until next Monday for the Wenatchee girls. Okanagan girls are playing at Warden. Pateras hosting Moses Lake Christian. Wilson Creek visits Entiat, and Bridgeport hosts Cascade Christian. The Wenatchee boys are playing, and that game has been moved up to 6 o'clock at Wenatchee High School. Brewster travels to Lake Roosevelt at 7, while Okanagan visits Warden. 7:30 games have Moses Lake Christian at Pateras, Entiat hosting Wilson Creek, and Cascade Christian travels to Bridgeport. College women's basketball got underway earlier today, and it was a big one. Well, first of all, Gonzaga taking on Portland at the McCarthy Athletic Center. That one's underway. Haley Van Lith and her third-ranked Louisville Cardinals are in a big ACC clash with fourth-ranked NC State. That's going on right now on ESPN. Eastern Washington plays at Sacramento State coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. Men's schedule for tonight, Eastern Washington hosts Sacramento State at 6. Number 1 ranked Gonzaga is hosting San Francisco tonight at 8 on the CBS Sports Network. Washington plays at Oregon State at 8:30 on the Pac-12 Network. Washington State and Oregon are postponed. Guess what? Due to COVID. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Get your weekend going for a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Very special guest on this program tomorrow, Luke Davies, the administrator of the Chelan-Douglas Health District, will give us the latest COVID update from his perspective. Lots of important information will come your way with my conversation with Luke Davies. That will air on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll have your weekend full of sports, your weekend weather forecast, as Grant already mentioned. Looking pretty good. Boy, we deserve some sunshine, don't we? We're going to have some this weekend. I'll give you the latest weather forecast news. Everything you need to start your weekend is available in one tiny little package, and it's free of charge. It's called Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and we will see you Friday morning at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.